There's a saying, action speaks louder than words or voice. So when somebody is telling you something like, oh, this is this, but their action is saying something else, you have to look beyond what they're saying and just look at their actions and follow whatever they're doing, because you can easily just rehearse something in your mind and just say it out just to get somebody interest, but then you're doing something else. So I know that we women, we are used to whatever, we are used to good words. Like when someone says something very nice to you, it gets to your head, you're like, but then when they say those things, what is their actions? So today's video, this lady was sharing an advice for 25 years old women and above. So if you're from 25 years and above, this message is for you. I feel like if you're even 20, it's also for you. If you already started dating and you're in a relationship, it is for you. I feel like everybody, I feel like this is an advice for all ladies, for me, but she specifically said for 25 years old and above. She made a lot of points in this video, and I decided to share with you all today. Let me know your thoughts while you watch the video, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
So if you're 25 years and above, please lend me your ears, because we cannot get to a place where at this point in our lives, you're still literal when it comes to things. You should not wait for people to spell out things for you. I don't want you. I am disinterested. I am no longer in love with you. I want out. It is over. You don't have to get to a place where you have to sit around and say, you have to tell me. Everything has to be spelled out for you. That is why you need to read between the lines. There's a reason why when we went to school, we studied literature. And it wasn't just so we can have a checklist of just the subjects that we studied in school, but also literature was supposed to teach you something called critical thinking and also being analytical when it comes to dealing with people. The author wasn't going to spell out the character traits of the characters in the book, but you're supposed to see what the character is doing and come out with your own phrases and say, this person is industrious, this person is inauthentic, this person is insincere, this person is inauthentic. Psalm 116, verse 11 says, all men are liars. And before someone gaslights me and say, who hurt you? This is not to mean just the male gender, it's to mean human beings. So that is why when you make bad choices, you're told that you are a poor judge of character, because you're supposed to judge people based on character. Judge people based on their actions. People's actions should be louder than their words. Never ever listen to people's words. Why? Because words are cheap. And what? People lie. All men are liars. Always remember that. So when someone says they love you, you have to look at the actions, because devoid of actions, they are just words. Someone says, I love you. They write to you very nice things saying they love you. They've not talked to you in weeks. They've not talked to you in days. And you sat there and you're like, but this person says he loves me. What do you think? He has not called me for 3-4 days. Actions. Now, I know there could be reasons and excuses as to why that has happened, but you look at what? Patterns.
Yeah.
Look at patterns, study patterns, see someone's pattern. Someone just ghosts you, they come in and out. I've seen this in my inbox. So I don't give relationship advice, because myself, I'm not in a relationship. I don't have intricate understanding of relationships, and I couldn't be bothered because it is not my forte anymore. But with the little experience that I have is this, for the 25, because this happens to be a problem and an issue for the younger girls. Therefore, my rant this morning is two things will happen when you're in a relationship, especially in a heterosexual relationship. I don't know about the others. Either man will ghost you. One of two things will happen. Either they'll ghost you, because most of the time men do not have it in them. They don't have the audacity. Men are nice, and especially to women. Even the bad ones, the violent ones, they're nice to women. They like to be very nice and polite when dealing with us. So instead of them coming to tell you that I don't like ABCD about you, and I could not be bothered to deal with you from this place going forward, they ghost. They just disappear. You said something, you did something that irked them, that did not sit well with them, they disappear. Yeah. Or they got what they wanted. This person was on a mission. Either they got what they wanted, you give it to them, they ghost. Or you did not give it to them, they disappear. And so you sat there and you're wondering, what could have happened? Why hasn't this person talked to me? Why hasn't this person given me closure? For what? Read between the lines. You have to get to a place where you read between the lines. And also, as a young person, you have to be very comfortable with rejection. Sit with yourself and say it is okay to be rejected. You have been rejected. This person clearly has not given you reasons. as to why they have rejected you, and they are being, you have to get to a place where you are proactive in life, not reactive, because people will have you react to things.
Yeah.
And you have to sit with yourself and understand that you are a good person, but not everybody thinks that way. And especially if you've done the work on yourself, because sometimes it's also being delusional to sit and think, I'm a good person, I'm a kind person. But why is it that everybody who comes into your space just leaves? Perhaps you're the one who's unpleasant. How about you go and work on that? But that's besides the point. Let's go back. Sometimes men can ghost. And it is an effort in futility for you to sit around waiting for someone who ghosted you to come and give you closure. You give yourself closure. You owe yourself fair treatment. And sometimes it is just with sitting with yourself and say, this person did not want me. I was not their cup of tea. We move forward. There are 8.5, if not 9 now, billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
The world is yet to experience your brilliance. There are so many people out there who would pay. Okay, not pay. That didn't come off well. But there are so many people out there who are waiting to experience you, to experience your brilliance. Even in relationship setups, have this abundance mindset. One, two. The second thing is most of the time, people would not. Most men don't dump because they leave their chances open.
Open, yeah.
So that the time they want to come for your free labor, they can just come in and have access to it. Or the time that they would want to come back for SEX, because they did not close that door, they did not burn those bridges, they did not cut the cord, it becomes very easy for them to come back and be like, oh, stuff happened, and I was in a phase, and this thing happened, and you were this, and I was that, and so I disappeared, but I'm back.
Yeah.
And so you have to get to a place where you're so mature to read into people's actions and not be easily swayed by words.
By words, yeah.
I know that we're emotional, and I know that we fall deeply and madly, and we lose ourselves in the hands of good words and sweet nothings. But you have to read people's actions. You have to get to a place where you put your emotions aside and become logical and look at people's actions. People's actions should speak louder than their words. I am a communication expert, and I would tell you this: do not focus a lot on what people are saying. Focus on what they are not saying. And what they are not saying, they will say them in their actions. It will be in their faces. Someone can tell you, I love you, with a smirk on their face. What they said, what they meant was not in the words, was on the look on their faces, what they did not say. And if someone has been in and out, and then they just come and say, but I love you, in and out of your thing, showing up today and then string you along for a week, for 2 days, for a month, and then disappear and then come back. You can tell that I'm a bit agitated because as a 25-year-old, you have to come to a place where over and above, because at this time, this part of your brain has developed. You can handle truth. And you need to get to a place where you're very analytical. And critical thinking should be your forte. I guess I've said enough. Don't be literal. Don't expect people to spell out words for you. Sometimes look at situations and people's actions and decipher what those actions mean, and then act accordingly. Cheers.
If you're waiting for a man to spell out some words for you before you take that action, or before you think that that is what is going through their head, you're going to wait for so long, because most of them do not say it. They will not say it. And do you know why? Because they know that when they say it, they won't have you in their finger. Like, they cannot have you at any time like they want, right? So they will not tell you what they feel about you. They will tell you what you want to hear. Most of these men tell you what you want to hear. And once they tell you what you want to hear, you, because you carried away by words, you forget the actions and you act along with it. That is why you see some young girls that dating married men, and the married man is telling them, I wish I met you before my wife. I love you so much. I'm in love with you. I cannot sleep without you, thinking about you. Or when I'm having XCS with my wife, I think about you. They just, say some things just to get into the lady's head and even tell her that I'm going to leave my wife for you, right? Or I'm fighting with my wife because of you. Like, they just say some things just to make the young girls or people they are dating to feel important, right? But then action, Action. If a married man is telling you that he loves you more than his wife, da, 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 and he's still in that marriage, he's still in that marriage, I don't think he loves you more than his wife. If just saying it just to get into your pants, and that's what most of these married men do. But now we're not even talking about married men, we're talking about men in general. When it comes to dating, most of them, especially when they're tired, because there was a trend that was when the moment you know that I'm tired of my girlfriend, they won't tell you that they're tired of you. They will not come and sit you and be like, girl, you're pissing me off. I think you need to go. No. Why should they do that? They will just ghost you. The highest they go is to just ghost you. They'll stop picking your calls or they'll stop calling you. And they will come up probably after they've missed you for like a month, all right, let's just say 3 weeks or 2 weeks. They'll now call you or come to meet you, buy you flowers, buy you gifts, or just do something that you really like, or take you out, or do something just to and tell you, I'm going through a lot, da 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 da. They get what they want to get from you again. They are out again. So at that moment, you, because you're in there with your full heart or your full mind and everything, you might not really think. You'll be like, and probably he was actually going through a lot then. Probably da 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 da, maybe it's not actually what he thinks. But no, you're taking his words for it. But that is not actually what they are showing you. Most of the time, you watch what people are showing you to determine what they think about you, not what they say. So it's always better when you watch actions. And again, is because they will not, most of them, I'm not saying not all of them will open up their mouths and talk. Most of them don't tell you you have to go. Most of them don't want to let you go. You will see even your ex-boyfriend. In fact, if not that you broke up with your ex-boyfriend, they will not break up with you. They want to just keep you there so that they will always come back to get you whenever they want, or whenever they miss you, whenever they feel like they want to get close to you, whenever they need you at that point, they always want to always come back. So they will just put you in that middle. They'll just stop communicating, and that's it. And they'll come back with a lot of excuse. This happens a lot. It happens a lot. So this is just like an advice if you're dating or you're in a relationship, or you just feel like always try to, yeah, you will listen to words, because I love words. Like I want to hear you say some things, but then I want to see your actions as well. So make sure the actions, whatever they're saying, is aligned with the actions. Is aligned with the actions and everything. Our Jamaican sister here is also giving an advice. Today's video is more of advice. So if you don't want advice, I don't think today's video is for you. But she's kind of giving advice for ladies that says, I can change a man. I can make him love me. Or when he's dating me, then he's gonna be a better person. Or when we get married, he's gonna be a good person. Or it's because we're not committed yet. Or it's because I don't love him. Or it's because I don't do some certain things to him yet. That is why he's treating me that way. When I start doing some certain things to him now, he's going to change. Of course, some women think like that, some ladies think like that, and she has some few things to share. Let me roll a clip for you all to watch to the end, and I'll be back and at the end of the video.
If you're a woman in your 20s or your 30s and you are single and dating and you're trying to find your person, there's one thing, I'm 42, and there's one thing I wish people or somebody had just told me when I was in my 20s or my early 30s, single and looking for my partner. Relationships are very hard, and how you start a relationship is critical. The information you gather in the dating phase is critical to how the relationship will continue, how the relationship will survive, if it will survive, and the standards you set, especially as a woman. How you start the relationship. What do you know about this person that tells you how this person is going to be in a relationship with you in the long term? So I'm 42 now, and one of the things I wish somebody had told me when I was younger is that you cannot, you can't make a man love you. You cannot convince a man to love you, you cannot even create the emotion the way on the level that you want it in any man. The man has to come as he is. You have to know for sure that as he is, he can fit within the standard, the purview, the perspective of how you want to be loved. A lot of women make the mistake of meeting a man, trying to convince herself that this man is a type of man that can work for her. It is the biggest lie you will ever tell yourself. It's the biggest lie you will ever convince yourself of. It's not true. A man is who he is. And if he decides to change without your prompting, without your pushing, without your quarreling, without your asking, without your begging, then he truly has changed. But you can't meet the man tell you, for example, that he's not the marrying type, and in 5 years down the line, you are depressed and distressed that you have not received a ring on your finger yet. Accept that people are who they say they are. Maya Angelou said that when people show you who they are, believe them the very first time. Believe him when he says that he doesn't like cleaning up. Believe him when he says he doesn't believe in commitment. Believe him when he says that he likes to go out and drink with his friends. Believe him that he's not fussy about cooking and a clean place. Believe him. Believe him when he says he doesn't like to spend a certain amount of money on women. Believe him when he has left 10 other relationships and you are number 11 and he cannot commit to the other 10 women. Believe him. And stop thinking that you are just different. The issue is a lot of us are depressed. A lot of us are stressed. A lot of us are on the brink of giving up in life because we have chosen the wrong partner. The word of God says that a merry heart is like medicine, but a broken spirit dried up the bones. A lot of us are feeling dried out, worn out, so stressed because we're not merry in our relationships. We're not merry in our marriages. And granted, it's not going to be hunky-dory all the time, but the things that are non-negotiables for you, the things that you truly need, you must make sure that this man has all the things that you need, not what somebody else needs, not what I need or the people them on social media, what you need. If you need a partner who is committed to you fully and don't have no one bag of woman, then that is what you must never negotiate on. I remember when I was dating my husband, and one of the things I was very clear on, as a Jamaican woman, I don't want no man we're going to have no enough gal and gal in a bungo with me. I cannot take it. Me cannot deal with it. Me can't share nobody. I'm very territorial. Me no want half of the think and I wonder and I stress at night time if you don't come home and who for yard you have to go to. I don't want to have that stress. That stress? No, I'm not into that kind of girl era. I'm in the soft girl, stress-free era because that for me was a big non-negotiable because I've been there before. I know the stress will come with it. So me just decide, say my marriage, this one that I chose is going to be one that respects that standard and that boundary for me. Another thing I never want somebody who always step on the road with him friend them. So I just never want that for myself. And when I met my husband, I made sure that was naturally him. So when I met my husband, he has always been a homebody. And I knew that if I had those two things, the commitment and him being at home, you see the other little problem that come up, we could have worked it out. Like for me, any other problem, we can work out that because the commitment is there. Nobody else is in our relationship. I'm not going to worry about what the friend them who not married and have them enough girl going to tell him and him gone and the influence. So, the point I'm making is you want to have a merry heart because it is like medicine to your body. You don't want to have this sorrowful, sad life because it causes sickness. So when you are choosing, make sure you understand this. One, you cannot make a man love you. And two, as you meet the man, just as you meet him, that's who he is. Accept it or leave it alone.
My people, you cannot change a man. This is how you started dating him. This is how you met him. It is whatever is doing to you while you're dating. That's exactly what you're going to see when you get married or when you're in a long-term relationship with him. Unless, unless he himself decides to change by himself because of himself, because they are selfish like that, right? They decide to change by themselves, for themselves, because of themselves, for them. That is the only but. And that happens whenever. And that most of the time that always happen old age when they don't have that strength to do anything again. That is when you see old men trying to come back to their first marriage or try to meet their first wife and start being all lovey-dovey and try to be like, oh, let's rekindle our love because now they are tired, probably they are sick, they can't walk, they can't pull, and they need that first love or their first marriage woman to take care of them and be there for them. But before then, most of the time we women always think a lot of things change a man, and one of the things that they used to tell us that change men is prayer. People come and say you have to pray every day, pray for your man to change, pray for him, pray. You see women, not they're not going to eat, they're going to fast, they're going to go to mountains, they're going to go to prayer cities. You see them, losing weight, losing themselves, looking disorganized just because they are praying for their partner to change something that the partner knows that is not going to change. They are praying for their partner to change. So one word is just like, don't think this man will change. If you're okay with the lifestyle you're seeing while you're dating this person, marry. Don't think that, oh, when they marry or the marriage status is going to change them. Most of the time these men do not change unless they are ready to change. That is just like a piece of advice for people that always think that they can change a man, or there's a way you have to behave to change him. If it wasn't like that before, or if he was like that before you met him, or while you're dating me you've already seen that it was like that, there's nothing you can do to change a man. Since we're giving advices, what advice do you want to give? Let us know that in the comment section to young girls or ladies that are dating now. What do you think you want to share? Let us know that in the comment section respectfully. And thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And please turn on the post notification bell to get notified once I upload another interesting video. And of course, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.